It's that time of year again when we all pop a squat, swat a thought, and jot down our thoughts as we look back over another wonderful year of anime. The ups, the downs, and the whatever this is. As is tradition, I'm going to do a spoiler-free breakdown of the best and worst anime of the year using the sacred system of categorization known only as close your eyes and point. And for the second year in a row, our first category is Harem. A genre near and dear to my heart, it's going to be tough picking between all the incredible options this year. Psych! Obviously it's OreGairu. After 5 long years of anticipation, we finally get to see the genuine conclusion, or should I say climax, to perhaps the most iconic harem of all time. Season 3 perfectly executed on all the character development and relationship dynamics built up in the first 2 seasons, and most importantly, heavily featured everyone's favorite kohai and best girl, Ishigami. Ending as expected in one of the most emotional and heartwarming rap battles that anime has ever seen. This category doesn't actually get a Worst of the Year award because how can it really go wrong? Next up, Shields Up. With the bizarre decadence coming out of nowhere and the unprecedented rise of the webtoon, it was an interesting year for action anime, which certainly isn't my favorite genre, so forgive me if I'm missing anything important. We had Decadence, Magia Record, Tower of God, Re:Zero, Bofuri, and of course, Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater. Honestly, some sort of underwhelming choices here, so I guess Re:Zero wins by default. Since it was only the first half of the season, there wasn't actually a ton of action, but it still managed to disturb me to my core in the way that only Re:Zero can. And obviously the worst action of the year award has to go to Tower of Flawed. Not necessarily because it was so awful, but because it was just good enough to keep me hoping that things might get better. But nope. The show peaks with its premise, and then it's pretty much all downhill from there. Alright, Magic Finger, give me something good. Comedy it is. 2020 was a year particularly in need of a laugh or two. And boy did the anime industry pull through. We had... Shield Hero 2, Rise of Maple, Kaguya-sama Season 2, Rent-a-Girlfriend, OreGairu Season 3, Uzaki-chan, Over the Moon for You, The Day I Became a God, and Asteroid in Love. But only one of these anime is home to perhaps the best girl of our generation, the lovable, the pure, and the kawaii Ishigami. When I first laid eyes on the Chika dance, I thought my life had peaked and it would be all downhill from there. But somehow, someway, A1 Pictures managed to outdo themselves with Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2, doubling down on everything that made the first season so great, while still keeping things fresh with a PH. I laughed, I cried, and most importantly, I simped. Uh-oh. Looks like my fingers are voting to unionize. That's not good. Okay, take a quick 10-minute unpaid lunch break, and then get your phalange asses back to work. We'll have to make do and just power on alphabetically. For some reason I thought we usually skip this category, but I don't remember. Get it? Cause like, dementia? Literally only one came out this year, so I guess Higurashi is both the best and the worst. According to the Neet Awards rulebook, passed down to me by my Neet sisters, no anime can winneth greater than 1 category per sun cycle. Otherwise OreGairu would pretty much have a clean sweep. So we're left choosing between Heya Camp, Asteroid in Love, and Sing Yesterday for Me. Although I was blown away by the mind-bending plot twist in Heya Camp, without much strife, it's time to cue the fife and give the Slice of Life award to Sing Yesterday for Me. Because for me, it worked on just about every level, from its slow pace to its beautiful portrayal of suburban Tokyo, and even its OST, making it not only the sliciest, but also the lifeiest anime of 2020. Alright, what's next? Oh, no, please. YouTube's gonna ban me again. Alright, let's make this quick. What came out this year? Interspecies reviewers? Sure. Scantily clad climbing girls? No. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Ah, here we go. Although many may try, only one can win the prestigious Kinda Ecchi award. And this year it belongs to an anime that made incredible contributions to science and technology. I'm talking, of course, about the innovative 3D Uzaki-chan manga covers. Put on your pajamas, it's time for drama, YouTube or otherwise, but mostly otherwise. We started this year on a sour note. As a huge fan of Magi Madoka, I could not have been more hyped for Magia Record, the spin-off series based on a mobile game. What could possibly go wrong? After that mess, it was a pretty slow year for serious anime, and that's probably good timing. Not sure how many people were looking to sprinkle some extra depression on their 2020, but we now have some light at the end of the tunnel, and our prayers were literally answered by God herself. From the man known for reaching into your soul and tearing it into a million little pieces, comes the new anime, The Day I Became a God, which although seemingly lighthearted and fun, I have a feeling that it's just another one of Maada's traps. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on Lee. It's time for everyone's favorite coping mechanism disguised as a hobby. Romance anime. Scrolling through this year's list, it was clear it was going to be a tough call, but after narrowing it down to 3 finalists, and then putting them through a rigorous series of A/B testing, one anime has emerged victorious. Put your hands together for Yaro na na na.
I opened the envelope, and it said,
Wacky TV Banana.
Adachi Toshimamura was without a doubt the most criminally underappreciated anime of the year, starring not one, but 2 contenders for Best Girl 2020, while also featuring an incredible OP, outstanding character development, and an all-you-can-eat buffet of Yuri goodness. And the worst romance of the year award goes to OreGairu Season 3, because Hiki has no taste. And with that, it's time to move on to the 999th annual Lightning Round. First up, Best Anime Feature Film of the Year. And keep in mind that a lot of them have yet to premiere in the land of the Rising Beaver, and therefore don't qualify, like Violet Evergarden, Demon Slayer, Shirobako, etc. Better luck next year. So that only leaves us with a couple options. So without a doubt, the best feature film of the year was the incredibly disturbing Made in Abyss Movie 3, which I do not recommend you watch while eating jelly donuts. Our next category is for the best OP/ED of 2020, and I'm giving it to OreGairu Season 3's Megami no Ame. And this probably goes without saying, but the worst OP of the year was Tower of God. And that brings us to this year's Patreon pick, where I asked the Discord gang what their favorite anime of the year was. And after an incredibly scientific poll, the winner, by an absolute landslide, 1 vote, was Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2. And at last, we've reached the penultimate category, the Kinda Neet Reheat, an award given to the best anime that I watched this year, regardless of its original release date. And what's this? A tie. Is that allowed? Oh, of course! I'm making this all up as I go along. Kubikiri Cycle and Lucky Star. From the author that taught you how to brush your teeth comes the anime adaptation of
What's that in your hand? In the game of Clue.
A jumble of geniuses are all invited to a remote island mansion to talk shop and... It's now up to Boku, no Piku or otherwise, to find the killer. Was it the maid triplets, the chef, or perhaps his own reclusive neat partner? If you like Monogatari-style dialogue, murder mysteries, and beautiful artwork, make sure you give Vampire Homes a watch. 10 out of 10. And of course, what more can really be said about Lucky Star other than... And last but also least, the best and worst anime of 2020. Drumroll, please. Japan Sinks 2020 was the worst anime that I watched this year. When I heard there was going to be an anime adaptation of The Rock's San Andreas, directed by the legendary Masaki Yuasa himself, Japan Sinks jumped right to the front of my hype train, and the first couple episodes actually lived up to his name. And then, well, Japan sinks, and takes my hopes and dreams with it. But hey, at least there was a rap battle.
Hey, let's get it!
But just when all hope seems lost, in swoops the service club to pick up the pieces. My teen romantic comedy Snafu Climax is not only a mouthful, but also my favorite anime of the year. Despite a 5-year gap between seasons, and a fanbase divided into 3 bloodthirsty factions, or I guess 4? In just 12 episodes, Studio Feels somehow managed to wrap everything up in a genuine neat little bow, putting an end to the waifu wars and completing Hiki's arc by moving him to the desk by the window. Feel provided fans with the closure that they've been waiting 7 years to receive. And did I mention there's a rap battle? Click here to watch the 2019 Neet Awards, and here to subscribe so you don't miss out on next year's. See you then.